improve your gut health. Gut health is very important. Before we go ahead to talk about the things you can do to improve your gut health, or ways to heal your gut health, or food, like nutrition that could help, have good gut health. Let's talk about what gut health is first and foremost. Um, because our body, the human body, has its own bacteria in them. The gut is like a tube. It's very important in our body. It plays a very huge role in our digestive system, and much more than we know. Sometimes we don't talk about our gut health, but it's important. We tend to think, talk about it, and improve it as we grow in life. When we are born, we don't come with all the bacteria in us, but as we are growing, and we are growing from baby into toddlers, teenagers, we are developing strong gut health that helps us to fight, to develop our immune system actually and fight diseases and germs. So it would be surprising to you if you get to see that. Even you have to know, just look into it, studies on gut health. So for instance, our body is like home to over millions of bacteria, honestly. So it's important we look after our gut health. So like the average adult, we have huge amount of gut bacteria in our gut. So sometimes the scientists have looked at it to say we have about 10 trillion bacteria in our gut, up to. So the everyday adult has about 10 trillion bacteria in their gut. So that's about 1,500 times more than the number of people on the planet Earth. So that is strange, but that is a true scenario of our human body. So today, my discussion with you, my followers, is just to talk about our gut health, how we can improve it, how the kind of food we can eat to keep it healthy and have good health as we age. So now we're looking at some organisms in our body. They live in our gut. So when we have balanced meal and we have more of plant-based meal. So when I mean plant-based meal, I believe in eating everything in moderation. So when you eat plant-based meal like vegetables, fruits, nuts, all these things are rich in fiber, even the oat, then your gut is being fed every day with different nutrients, and with this you have the right metabolism. But sometimes, this is my personal experience, sometimes I find that I had difficulty with my digestive system, and I had to introduce one or two things to my diet, and within 2 or 3 days I noticed huge difference. There was a time I was having issue with my gut health. It was difficult for me, and I had to introduce celery juice, and I just used celery juice for 3 days, and my gut health just got back to health, got back to normal, got back to good use. So I would recommend that we introduce 1 or 2 plant-based vegetables in our meals, in our daily meals. When we have food rich in fibers and plant-based, more of plant-based, we tend to promote good gut health. So today, not just about this gut health we're talking about, because we know when we are born, we are just born with little amount of microorganism, but as we develop through life, these organisms grow into trillions. So it's important we keep it healthy as we go. So good gut health will help our body, it will support our immune system, and eating the right diet and the right lifestyle will help to promote this gut health. So some of the things that, before I talk about the food, which is very important, there are other things I would like to talk about that could help to improve our gut health. Some of them, sometimes you look at me looking away, I'm looking at my notes, so just to keep me on track. So there are 7 things the scientist has talked about that we can do, and one of the website I consulted is healthline.com. I do go to subscribe to their magazines, their online magazines. So if you lower your stress level, you actually bring good, your gut health will improve greatly. If you get enough sleep, average adult trying to get between 7 to 8 hours of sleep, uninterrupted sleep per night, will improve our gut health. So apart from lowering our stress level, if you have stress from your work, stress from family life, stress from anything at all, you could put them to minimal. Your gut health will automatically improve. And then getting enough sleep, it's advised to sleep. If you're working late at night, sometimes it's good to have a couple of nights off from work to be able to sleep and recover your immune system, because sleep itself, we know, is immune boosting and is good for our overall health. So it's recommended that if you could get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, uninterrupted sleep, you'll be of good gut health. So sometimes some scientists have talked about being at your bed by 10 p.m., through to the early hours of the morning. With this way, you will heal your body and your gut health will be back to normal, and you'll be able to have the time, everything setting properly for you. And also, one of the things they recommended is eating slowly. What do they mean by this? Eating slowly. Scientists feel that when you chew your meal, chew it gradually, chew it smooth, or you chew your foods normally, it aids digestion rather than eating them in chunks. And one of the things I'll bring in here, eating slowly, apart from eating your meal more slowly, that can help to promote food digestion and absorption of the nutrients in it, it helps to reduce digestive discomfort as well. So this improves your gut health overall. So what you can do here is, if some of the vegetables or the fruit, like the kale, I like the kale and celery as well. So some of the vegetables like kale, you could add that to your apple, your carrots, your orange, your lemon, and any other oranges, any other fruit you like, banana, and you can puree them into a smoothie. Now, I'm not talking about juicing. Today, I'm talking about pureeing them into a smoothie. So you could blend them to smoothie. In this smoothie paste, you have all the fibers of these fruits and vegetables. So there is no part no shaft is being thrown out like in juicing. So all the fibers goes into your system, thereby cleansing your digestive tract and improving your gut health. So your system digests and absorbs the nutrient, and the fiber actually works well with your gut health. Then another thing again is staying hydrated. I know sometimes we are working, we are busy, we're not able to have a sip of water, but you could have the habit of going to your work with your water bottle, so you're hydrated, and when it's finished, you can always refill them. So sometimes it's recommended that adults have between 2 liters to 3 liters a day, female 2 liters, male up to 3 liters if you can, or 2.7 liters. With this, you are properly hydrated, and you drink, and then you keep your body system going. So staying hydrated is a simple way to improve your gut health, because everything aids digestion. The more water you have, the more digestion you also have. So it helps in a way of the mucosal lining of the intestine. It helps the intestine to go and balance out the good bacteria in the guts and washes out anything that don't need to be there. Then sometimes again, what I've also included in my way of life is taking prebiotic or probiotics. These are good. We have some of them in the shop for children, and but myself, I take Greek yogurt. So these are non-sweetening. They are unsweetened. They are without sugar, but I find them good because when I put my bowl of Greek yogurt, unsweetened, and I add some couple of blueberry in them. I take that first thing in the morning before I start anything. I have noticed over the time that has gone actually to cleanse my gut. So probiotic is good, and you get that a lot in fermented food like yogurt. So it's good for you. Take that. Then it also is good. Some people have some food intolerance. Like today, I don't want to talk about bloating because it's also what I suffered and it's linked to our gut health. I will talk about bloating in another video, but today I'm talking strictly on gut health. So if you check your food intolerance, you look at food like I used to be lactose intolerance for some time. I don't know why. I wasn't lactose intolerant as a child, but later on I developed it. So it causes bloating. But when I started noticing the intolerance, I changed my milk from dairy milk to like oat milk or almond milk, and after a while I'm back now to dairy milk. So you could help all this intolerance and check to improve your gut health. What triggers it? What makes you not to be able to, have your gut health in the right place? Check some food intolerance. Some people don't like hot food. They can't tolerate it. So you can change your diet. So they recommend changing of diets. You could try different combination of food and see what works for you. Then the other types of food for your gut health, the scientists mentioned some food that could help you. So this include first food that are rich and high in fiber. That's why I said when you blend your fruit and your vegetables and when you make them into smoothie, don't juice them. And why I say don't juice them is because so you have the whole entire fiber, because what helps your gut health is plant-based. So when you smoothie them, maybe you have your nuts in them, the whole fiber goes into your system and it helps to cleanse your gut health. Then we'll talk about garlic and onion. These help as well to improve our immune system and they help our gut health. Actually, there was a research I was looking into by South American researchers talking about fermented garlic and what it could do for us, but I've not tried fermented garlic, but I have tried fermented garlic in honey during the COVID lockdown. So I noticed the improvement as well in my gut health. So these are the things we can do. So it talks about fermented food like yogurt, like tempered, like misos. So these are, they could help probiotics, they could help our system. Then it talks about collagen boosting food. So collagen boosting food like bone broth. There was a video in my Instagram page, I don't know, I think it's also in my YouTube page, where it talks about the importance of bone broth. So bone broth has come to be one of the staple things in my home. Yeah, I mean staple thing in my home. We literally prepare bone broth over 18 hours. So we put it on a slow cook and it cooks in 18 hours. And then we sieve them and put them through the freezer and we eat them every other day. So we have, bone broth. So it's good for you. So you look into the kind of bone you want to use for your bone broth, like beef bones or free-range beef or halal beef, depending on your belief, or you look at chicken bones, you have all these bones combined and you make good rich bone broth with lots of vegetable in them. They are good for your gut health. So I used that for a while when I was looking to put on a bit of weight, and bone broth certainly works. I will recommend it anytime, any day. So to improve your overall gut health, the important thing they've asked for us is to have eat well. The first thing is to eat balanced meal, different kind of dish, different kind of diet, rich in plants. So plant-based meal. So the plant-based or portion of your meal should be 70%. So if you have like beans, like legume, like lentils, good option, good protein, good fibers. They would go into your system and heal your gut health. Sometimes I joke with my daughter. I will say we don't have any gut issue because my daughter loves her legumes. She loves her lentils. She loves her beans. She loves her yogurt. So I just, little by little, I just introduce her into stuff like this. So it's good. Although children will always be children, but just trying to do stuff like this at home. So the point I want us to note from here is eat well, the right meal, the right balance of plant meal, sleep well, try to get between 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. I know sometimes that will be difficult because of our family arrangements, but if you can, please get 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep minimum. There was a time I was trying to make sure I have my sleep not less than 7 hours, 8 hours. So I always go to my bed at 9 p.m. Sometimes 8:30 I'm in my bed. I try to sleep. This way I try to drink lots of water during the day. And by 6 p.m. I stop drinking every water. I've been drinking from morning. I try to take my 2 liters or 1.7 liters minimum a day. So by 6 p.m. I've had my last bottle of water and I'm going to my bed. The reason why I did that was I have the whole 2 hour plus to use the toilet, then not be disturbed during my sleep. So I actually sleep from 9 p.m. till 5:30 in the morning uninterrupted. It's habit I've formed over the past 3 years. So, and I hope to keep it going. So I try to drink all my water during the day, taking my 1.7 to 2 liter every day minimum to keep my body hydrated. And then also not to be waking at night, because sometimes when you wake up to use the bathroom at night, your sleep is interrupted. You're no longer being able to achieve 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep. And also, one of the things to improve your sleep at night also is to put away all the lights, reduce the level of, distraction in the room. I know some people have TV in their room, but I don't have it in my bedroom. I just try to put everything light, relaxation, just sleep. So I only have my Bluetooth speaker that's keep humming classical music or brain music or sounds just to encourage me to sleep. So this helps your gut health. So these 3 things, if you can control your eating, that is your diet, and work very well on your sleep, and then be healthy as much as you can, making some lifestyle changes here and there, be happy. Honestly, be happy. All we have is this life. It's just this life of God. So let's make the best of it. Be happy, be cheerful. That's the best. So, and then again, another thing I want to talk about when talking about gut health is important. So, we talked about diet, where we say eat a lot of vegetables, legumes, beans, and fruits. I would like to mention some of the vegetables or fruits, food that are rich in fiber and actually good for you, for good gut health bacteria, because as human beings we need certain healthy bacteria in our system to function. So we talked about some of this food. I will list them now. Is raspberries, green peas, broccolis, chickpeas, lentils, beans, whole grain, banana, and apple. They are actually very rich in high fibers and they help digestion, the digestive system, and keep moving. And there are whole lots of things. Then we talk about fermented food, where we talk about yogurt, kimchi, kefir, kombucha, temper. These are different food. You have more of this food in the vegetarian dishes, but yogurt goes both ways. Some are vegetarian, some are not vegetarians. I am not a vegetarian, but sometimes I tend to be off meat certain parts of the day, certain part of the week. Also 2 days a week I won't have red meat in my meal. Just self-denial. So, but it's me a lot to improve on my gut health. So that's it basically. So the next thing I'll be talking about here is, apart from eating well, talked about probiotic food. We've talked about that already. Then breastfeeding mothers as well. If you breastfeed for at least 6 months, it helps your gut health a lot, and it helps the child's bone density when they are born. So these are good things. So whole grain, we're trying to introduce whole grain in the family. I know my daughter, she likes brooch and some other sweet bread or sweet pastries, but I intend to mostly feed my family with whole wheat bread and whole grain. We like oats, so we tend to eat oats a lot just to build on fiber in the family. So we eat oats, um, porridge oats, grounded oats, just oats in its various, and we'll try to have more of plant-based diet. You know, so also another kind of food that could help improve your gut health. We talk about food rich in polyphenols. So polyphenols are like cocoa, dark chocolate. So it's not the milk chocolate that are so sweet and tasty. Dark chocolates are not actually sweet, but they are good because they are rich in polyphenols. We talked about red wine. So red wine is also good for you, although I don't drink wine, but for those who can take wine, it's actually good for you. Grape skin. I actually eat grape skin. I have grapes in my fridge and it's good for you. So in place of red wine, you can have grape skins or grapes, or a little bit washed and left to ferment grape. If you know how to ferment grape very well, you could ferment grape in your home, so that you don't breed the wrong bacteria. You will use spring water, not still water. So I know how to ferment products, but for these ones, you can ferment your grape, you can use grape skin, you can eat your grape whole. So you talk about green tea. So I'm one for green tea. One of my struggles with gut health, when I started looking into gut health, the first thing I used to deal with my digestive issue was poker tea. How I wish I could show it. It's not a paid advert, but it's just what I used. So these poker teas, the green one, as soon as I put it in water and I take it, oh my God, my digestive issue just goes away. Honestly, it's good. So I use poker products, the green tea. Then almonds are good. Like I do make almond milk for myself when I was bloating. So I blend it and then I make my milk. Then onions are good. I can't make food without, most food I make in my home, I put onion because they are good for your gut health. The red onion, the brown onion, I just use them. Then blueberries. Not only are blueberries good for your gut health, they're also good for your eyes and your vision. So you can introduce them into your daily meal. And if you can't afford to buy the fresh one from Asda, Sainsbury, Lidl, and Aldi, you can buy the frozen one and you have it in your freezer. Just a cup a day, just a little cup a day. And broccoli. Broccoli. Oh my God, I love this vegetable. It's so good. So you can have broccoli in your meals, and this will help you as, you deal with your gut health. Just to have, polyphenols, actually, there is something about this polyphenols that you find in this food that are rich in it, like cocoa, red wine, grape skin, green teas, almond, onion, blueberries, broccoli. They actually help. There is an enzyme called, I tried to write it when I was doing a research into this, but what it helps is to make you relax. I'll get it as we go along. I'll tell you. So it helps you to relax away from distress or stress, or if you're struggling to sleep or depression, it actually helps you. So the bottom line here is that your gut bacteria are extremely important for many aspects of your health. Many studies have now shown that if you have good gut health, you have less pain in the body, you have less distress, your immune system is boosted, your thinking, your neurons are all working. You know why? You may think, what is with gut health and your neurons? Honestly, there is a research. I was trying to get through this research and I could just say it to you. So this research talks about that our gut health actually affects our neurons. Honestly, when I saw this research work, I said, wow. Yeah, it says, look at this report. It says that every adult human has 10 trillion bacteria in their gut. That is 1,500 times more than the number of people on earth in your body. It's strange though, but don't worry. Not all of these gut bacteria do any harm. In fact, some of them are actually beneficial. So there was a place I was going to look at to say one of the So you have to keep your gut healthy and be in the right place of health. I know sometimes we don't talk about this, but when you're having bloating, indigestion, you're not happy, you're in distress, it affects you. So I was trying to look for a report where I saw its impact on the neuron. Yeah, it says you owe much more to the gut than you may know. For instance, it is home to a whopping 100 million neurons. Neurons, the brain, the nerves that connects the body, the brain, everything working. Your gut is a home to 100 million neurons. 90% of the serotonin. You know what serotonin is? Serotonin is what keeps you happy. It makes you it balances your mood. It's made in your gut health. So if you're depressed, if you're mood swinging, you're not being happy, or some things are not just going right, please look into your gut health. So it talks about serotonin being it's like a kind of modulating mood. It modulates your mood. Here you go. I just Googled it. Cognition, your reward, your learning, your memory, and your neurons' physiological processes such as vomiting. This is what serotonin produces in the human body. So if you could handle your gut health, honestly, you could put yourself at happy bay without happy. Just create happiness within you and create the right hormone in yourself. So thank you guys for joining me today. Please comment, like, share, and you can just comment on my broadcast. You can add a comment and we will read it. My moderator will read if there is any comments coming in here.
We've got one, and it says, is there any recommendations for mixtures for smoothies?
No, just like the fruits and the vegetables, fruit and vegetable I've mentioned here. I'll just list this for you. This is from Healthline, healthline.com. So it mentions some of the vegetables or fruits we can combine. It talks about raspberries, talks about green peas, talks about broccoli, talks about chickpeas. So if you're making your smoothies, you can add raspberry, blueberries, banana, apples. So this for your smoothie. And if you're making meal, you can have your banana. You can have if you're making a meal, you can have your beans. Beans is actually very good. You have your lentil soup. You have your chickpeas. You have your broccoli in your meals. So these are the mixtures you can add to your daily meals to have.
Would you recommend probiotic drinks?
Yes, they're actually good, but you have to look at them again. Probiotic drinks are good. Sometimes some of them have sugar. I'm not a fan of sugar. I haven't bought sugar in my home for the past 6 months, so I can exist without sugar. But if you look at the sugar content of probiotic drink and you find that it's infinitesimal or little, you can have it, but it's good. So there are some that are unsweetened, but if you can lay your hands on Greek yogurt, it's very good for you. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
I think that's it.
Okay. So thank you guys for coming on to my live broadcast today, and I'm happy to have you all here. And hopefully next time we will have another discussion in area of health. But if you have any problem with your gut health, I would say to consult your GP, your doctors. They are best trained to give recommendation or prescription. But these are the things I do daily to improve my gut health. Like I mentioned earlier on, when I was struggling with my digestive system, I introduced celery juice. I actually blended it, and that one I made a drink. Yes, I made celery drink. So the juicer juiced all the juice in it. I know you would say celery is kind of full of saltiness, but the saltiness of celery is from the fruit. It's not sodium. It's not like table salt. So I made celery juice for 3 days, morning, about tea time, the next day morning for 2 days, 3 days. The third day I was free of any inconvenience of digestive issues. So I always, every now and then, I add celery to my diet. So it's good. That's one thing again you can think about. So that's it today, guys. Thank you for coming to my live stream. We're here on the street of social media, pushing it gradually, hopefully coming out with something good. I'll look into researching into other area of life that I've applied to my life experiences, and I'll come up here and talk about it. You can try these home remedies yourself. You can change this make this dietary change yourself, but don't make any dietary change that is like drastic without consulting your doctors. But actually, changing your diet will mean changing good life, making your life better. Thank you, guys. Bye for now.